Once you sign into your My HMCTS account, you will see this screen here, which will have a list of all your cases. To create a new application, go and click Create Case. Then select the options from the drop-down. So select the relevant jurisdiction, which will be family divorce, and select the case type. So depending on what case you're issuing, whether it's a contested or consented application. So you select contested financial remedy. And this event will automatically populate with Form A application. Then click Start. Just before you get to the actual application itself, there's a quick info page there, so have a quick read of that before you proceed. And then once you're happy with all the information there, click Continue. And then is the applicant represented? So you say yes or no. So if you're issuing this as a solicitor, you select yes. And at this point, you can put in your information. So you put the solicitor's name. And this part is very important. So to add the solicitor to the case, it's very important that you use the search for organization option and not manually input the information here. So to do that, you would type in the solicitor's firm and then select the relevant firm from the drop-down list there. So click select once you found your firm. So that information will be stored there. This is the part that allows you to have access to the digital case. So it's very important that this part isn't missed out. Once that information has been selected, you can then add the contact details below there. The reason why there are two separate entries there is because sometimes the organization name might have multiple offices, so you might have different offices under that name. At this point here, you have the opportunity then to select the correct contact address. So again, the quickest way to do that is enter the postcode, go and find address, and then select the address from the drop-down list. And that will auto-populate the rest of the fields there. The other fields you need to fill in at this stage is the phone number and the email address. If these two are not filled in, it won't let you proceed. Just as an example, if I take the email address out and click continue, so there's a few pieces of information missing there, so it tells you what's missing. So if we put in the solicitor's name, it's HMCTS, and the email address. And then the final question at this stage asks whether you consent to receive notification from the court by email. So if you select yes, then that email there will be used to send notification to you. If you select no, all notifications and correspondence will be sent to you by post. At this stage now, we can start putting the details of the divorce. So you'd enter your divorce or dissolution case number at that point, the date of the marriage. The date of separation is optional, so you don't have to input that information. The date the petition was issued, the name of the court where the divorce or dissolution was issued, and at what stage the divorce is reached. So you don't select, so if we click on petition issued, another tab opens up there, so we can upload a copy of the petition. If we select decree nisi, there's an option to upload the decree nisi, and then the same thing for the decree absolute as well. So if we say a decree absolute has been made, so choose file, this will take you into your documents, and you can select and upload the relevant document, so that your decree absolute in this case, and then the date when the decree nisi, decree absolute was pronounced. Click continue. And then we can enter the applicant's details. And the respondent's details. Again, make sure if they have any middle names to include the middle names as well, although it's not mandatory, but if you have that information. Once you've put in the respondent's name, it asks you to whether the respondent is represented or not. If the respondent is not represented, you'd select no. And again, give you the opportunity there to input the respondent's contact details. So we've got the address there, phone number, and email. If they are represented, you select yes. Same thing again as with the applicant solicitor, you have an option there to search for the organization. And then select the relevant solicitor from the list. And enter solicitor details. Same thing again with the address. Using the postcode, we can do a quick search. And select the relevant address from the drop-down. That'll populate the rest of the fields there. Again, if you have any phone numbers or email address, so for the respondent, these are optional. So the portal will let you proceed without putting that information in. But if you do have that information, you can put that in at that point. And at the point now we can select the nature of the application, so what it is we're actually applying for. So select the relevant option from the tick box there, and then continue. It will then ask you whether the application is suitable to be dealt with under the fast track procedure. If you select no and click continue, you have the option there to put in the gatekeeping part of the application. If I just take a step back, if you select yes, you have an option there to select the relevant points that apply, why that applies to be dealt with under the fast track procedure. So if we go back to no and proceed to the next step. So should the application be allocated to the complexity list of the financial remedy court? Yes or no, or I don't know. Select the relevant option to you there. So if we select no and state the current estimated assets in the case, again, select what's relevant to you. And the final part there is if there's any potential allegations or issues which may arise in the case, you would at this point there, you have an opportunity to select the relevant options from the list there. If there aren't any potential allegations or issues, you click not applicable and continue. At this point here, we can then select which court you wish your application to be dealt at. So select the relevant region where you are. So if you say Southwest, then select the relevant financial remedy court. Select Bristol, and then find this should be the court that's local to the applicant. So select the relevant court from the drop-down list. If there's any reason why anyone needs any particular assistance to attend court, whether they require the use of an interpreter or hearing loops, you can put that information in there. If there aren't any, you just put NA and move on to the next question, which is about any special measures required in the case, or do they require the use of video link or separate waiting room? At that point, you put in the relevant information. If they don't require any of that, you put NA. Is there any reason why the hearing should not take place here? So is there any reason why the matter can't be heard at that particular court? Yes or no. If yes, you have an option there to state your reasons. And then at this point, we have the mediation part of the application. So as the applicant attended mediation and assessment meeting in the past 4 months, yes or no. So if we select yes, we'll continue. That'll take us to the page where we can input the details of the MIAM. If we go back, if we select no, we have a further question there. So is the applicant claiming exemption? Yes or no. If we select no, we can continue. If we select yes, a further question comes up. As a funding mediator informed the applicant the mediator's exemption applies and they do not need to attend, yes or no. So if we select no, we can continue. So we can put in the MyM certificate information here. If this information is already stored on your Form A, you don't have to duplicate that information. You can just put in there, please see Form A. Continue. If you have any further documents which you wish to, in support of your application, you have an opportunity here to upload those documents. So if you don't have any documents, you select no and you can continue. If you do have documents you wish to upload in support of the application, you select yes and then add new. Choose files. Again, this will take you into your documents, so you can select the relevant documents from your computer. And you can state what type of application, what type of documents they are. So let's say, for example, we've uploaded an allocation questionnaire. Click continue. So this will just give confirmation of the code that we've selected. So once you're happy with that, you can proceed to continue. And at this point, the portal will show you all the information and answers you just inputted in. So check to make sure all the information that has been inputted is correct and accurate. If there's anything that's not accurate or needs amending at this point, you have an option there to change any information. If you're happy with everything in there, scroll all the way to the bottom and click submit. So the application is now being drafted. At this point, then we need to account for the fee. So how was the application being paid for?